Well, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, my camera stopped working on me, so I'm using my cell phone. Let's see how this works. I might like it better. Okay. We're on part number 2 now, and we're gonna measure things and find out what the differences are in the different blades. This one right here is a S35VN. This one right here is the Oz 8, and this one right here is the CTS6HP. We're trying to solve the problem for my newer Talwars. Oh, by the way, Amazon, just a news flash, Amazon has XL Talwars starting at $130, I think $135 or $138, something like that, to like $145 or $148, something like that, for the XL size Talwars. XL size Talwars. You might want to check that out. Apex Grind is the one that I'm giving a shout out to, because he's the one that got me motivated to do this in the first place. I had sort of given up on my S35VN Talwars I bought. They were the first generation, or first, should I say, the first ones that hit the shores. The first batch, is that a good word? First batch of S35VN Talwars that came to the US, and they were available for sale. I purchased mine on eBay from an eBay seller. I do not recommend doing that anymore. I don't recommend buying things on eBay that are made by Cold Steel, GSM Cold Steel, because unless it's an authorized dealer or seller, they do not honor the warranty. And that's the problem I have with these. And it got me frustrated, because I spent, I don't know, they were like $174 a piece. So that's like, what, $348 I spent on these? And they're basically useless because they go into fixed blade mode. But we're going to try to solve that problem. And Apex Grind recommended doing some work on the lock bars themselves. But these lock bars look really nice. They don't have any I don't know, rough spots or anything like that. So I don't think it's a lock bar that's causing the problem. I'm sort of curious about the pins, because a long time ago I had another Cold Steel knife that had some issues, and the pin sizes were wrong. And I sent it back to Cold Steel, and they corrected it. But you can't do that no more, so you got to figure it out yourself, I guess. Because they say that they back their stuff 100%, but in reality, not no more. Not no more, people. And it's sort of sad. That's the saddest thing about the new Cold Steel company, is that they're not backing their products like they should, like the old Cold Steel company did. So, and for me, that's a major turnoff, because when you buy things online, you'll never know if they're perfect or not, because you don't get a chance to see them before you handle them. But anyway, let's get away from that. Let's try to figure this out. So I'm going to take measurements of all these parts and see what's the difference. Doing the pivot pins first. These are the pivot pins that hold the lock bar. This one is 3.96 millimeters thick. And that's the S35VN model, my serrated one. This one's 3.58 millimeters thick. 3.5 or 3.57 it's saying now. Let me re-zero just to make sure. 3.59 millimeters. Next one, re-zero again. This one says 3.54 millimeters. Let me see if I can show these to you. So they're all different. I wonder why that is. I hope you guys could see that. One thing about recording with the camera is I can't see what's going on. That's what, recording with the, I can't pull this pin out. Pull this one out. Recording with the cell phone, With the camera, I can see everything I'm doing. This, I can't see what I'm doing, so I just hope that you guys are able to see what I'm doing here. That one says 3.97. So these are different. Let's see what the stop pin is. Let's see if we can pull this. Okay, we can pull the stop pins out. 5.97. Let me re-zero again. $5.97. Keep dropping it. There we go. Hope you guys can see that. 5.97. And that's on the S35VN one. This one gonna come out. All right. $6.19. So the original one has a lot thicker stop pin. Interesting. $6.19. So it's the same as the original one. And that's for the CTS-XHP one. The S35VN one is the one with the smallest one. Okay, I know this one doesn't work. And what I want to do is try swapping some parts just to see if it makes a difference. So these have bigger stop pins. Let's see if the blade looks different. I'm going to compare it to the newest one. This is CTS-6HP version. Without cutting myself. These blade tags look exactly the same. They look exactly the same, people. I don't know let me see if I can hold this so you can see it without cutting myself. But they look exactly the same. But they have different size pins. Interesting. Different size pins. Let's see what this one looks like. Try to keep everything together so I know where it came from. This one looks the same too. Huh. They all look the same. That's weird though, because they all look the same, but they have different size pins. Let's compare the lock bars. Let's see what the lock bars are like. This is the lock bar off the okay, we got a difference here. Lock bars aren't the same. This is the lock bar off of the Oz 8 version, and this lock bar off the CTS-6HP version. And as you can see, probably easiest to do it this way. Let me see, where's my other wrench at? Okay. I mean driver. See the difference? So that means that the scales are going to be different too, between the original ones and the CTS-6HP one. Put that back there. Let's see if this one's the same as the S35VN one. Okay, these are the same. The holes are lining up perfectly. Or are they? Let me see. A little bit of a difference. got a little bit of a difference. This one's going a little bit further. So they're a little bit different. Hope I didn't mix those up. Okay. So let's try swapping some parts. Okay, so the new one is more like the old the CTS-6HP, the second generation. The third generation is more like the second generation than it is the first generation. That's what we're finding out. Okay. Let me see. I really don't want to change the parts on this one though, because that's a CTS-6HP one. What were the sizes again? .597, that's small. 6.2, that's larger. I'm going to swap the one with the Oz 8 one. I'm putting the Oz 8 stop pin in the newest one, first generation into the third generation. I wonder if I should change this too. Does that really make a difference? 396. It is different. It's smaller. Let's see how this fits. I don't know. Out of curiosity, I'm going to put the scale on. I got all the other parts there? Yep. You know what? That might solve the issue right there. I'm gonna tighten it up, people. I'm curious now. So stop pin might be the issue. But what will it do to this one that would make this one go into lock blade mode now? I really want this one. This is the one I really want to carry is my serrated Talwar, because I have a lot of plain Talwars. And the other one I carry all the time is a plain Talwar. I don't have a serrated one that I carry because my serrated one is a CTS-6HP and I don't want to use that one because it's a collector's item now. Everybody likes the CTS-6HP stuff, so more than the Oz 8. So if I have to sacrifice one to make a good one, it's going to be an Oz 8 one. Okay, it's not hitting. How about there? All right, doesn't dig down. It's the stop pins, people. I'm trying to make it dig down. It's not digging down. I don't know if you can see that. See how it's nice and flush with the scales? It's not, the lock bar is not going below the scales. That's what I don't like it when it goes below the scales. All right. We just solved it. It's a stop pin. The stop pin is too small in these. Yep. Let's see even if I open it slow. Perfect. It's solved. Okay, let's see what it does to this one though. Putting in the smaller. Where's the white one? Where's my other Teflon washer? That's one for that. Unless I put, okay. There we go. Teflon washer goes against the blade. Your bronze phosphor washer goes against the G10 scale on G10 on the G10 handle models. Okay, which one was this one? We'll find out because one won't fit. And I'll have to find out. Okay, that one's for now. Oh, another thing I noticed too, the springs are different. See that? This is the Oz 8 version, and this is the newer version. This is the same as the S35VN too. That's why the push down on these to unlock them is a lot harder because it's a lot thicker and more stout leaf spring or torsion bar. So that's another thing that's different. The rear scale is different. I mean, the rear piece is different. These are made out of aluminum. These are 6060 heat treated, 6061 heat treated aluminum back spacers, and these are different because of the way that the torsion spring is, or leaf spring. Okay, see how that's going down too far? That would go into lock blade mode. That's what you don't want. You don't want it to sit like that. See how it's below the handle scale or frame? I'm not gonna mess this one up. I'm not gonna mess this one up. I'm gonna put this one back. Might have to go with the so it also tells me though I'm not gonna be able to do both of mine. And what we got going on here? Something's different. I must have got the lock bars mixed up. Maybe the lock bars are different. One thought. Because this is a smaller pin. Let's trade them. It raises it up a little bit, but it still looks like it's going to lock up. Let's see if the smaller pin works in this one now. It does. And it's nice and flush. That's as deep as it can go right there. Oh, that might work. I wonder if can I get that out? That one doesn't want to come out. I have to force it out. I want to trade the pivot pin too. Uh-oh, what I just dropped? Oh, the torsion spring. One thing's good about my flashlight, I can see everything with the flashlight. Makes it easier to find stuff. I love this flashlight Lucky got for me. Or bought with the gift certificate that Lucky gave me. Been using the hell out of it. Okay. Let's see if we can pop this out. Okay. Let's switch it with this one. Actually, they look like they're the same though. Let me see if there's a difference. This one, that's one that came out the CTS XHP. .57 or 58. And this the other one. Oh, they're the same. 3.59. That's about the same. That's not gonna really make a difference. Let's see if it does anyway. I don't really expect it to change there. What am I doing here? I'm gonna button it up and see if this one works right. If not, then I'm not gonna continue to, I'll just put it back the way it originally was. Is that right? I think it's these screws. The other camera that I always use kept cutting out on me, and the battery's fully charged. It says it's 100%. I've had that camera since 2009 though, so it's made every video that you guys see on the internet. So maybe it's just time for it to go, or maybe the battery's just getting worn out. It was a gift from my sister. Too tight. Centered out, nice. Looks good up here. Okay. Nice and flush. Flush when closed and centered. Let's see what happens when I open it apart. Goes down just a touch, but not bad. All right. We might got something here, people. We might got something here. So that one's good to go. And this one's good to go. So let's put this one back together. All right. Okay, it's not going all the way down. Looks good. We might have just solved something here, people. In order to do this one, though, I'd have to use that one. That one works perfectly, though, so I don't know if I want to do that. I think I might just leave the plain edge one the way it was stock. But you know what the sad side is, though? You only could do this if you got all these different models. It's not like something that nothing got modified or anything. Just swap the parts around to where they fit right. It's weird though, because I don't know if the camera's still recording. I hope it is. All the way down, then you back it off like a quarter of a turn. Nice and flush. See what it's like when you open it? Still nice and flush. The centering's a little bit off. It's favoring the clip side. Let's see if I can adjust that. I like to loosen up and bring the blade all the way over, and I slowly tighten up until it goes center. Right there. Oh yeah, we're in business. We're in business. It works great. You know, maybe I will swap the parts. Okay, that one's done too. I will take these back apart though and re-oil them and grease them and stuff. Yeah, I can hear the blade stop pin needs to be. I'll show you guys a secret for the blade stop pin too. Hear that noise? That's the blade stop pin. Yep. I'll show you guys a little secret for that. They all got it. How about this one? Not so much. Okay. Let's take this one apart and let's swap parts with this one. Let's see if we can do the same thing. Hopefully we can. Then they'll all be working properly. You know me, I'm a little OCD. I like uniformity. I'm feeling good, people. I'm feeling good. I'm on to something. Thank you, Apex Grind, for getting me motivated to want to do something with these knives. I'd given up on them. I've gone through so much trying to get these returned to Cold Steel, and they wouldn't do it because I didn't have proof that I purchased my knives from an authorized Cold Steel dealer, whatever that is. Their product is their product, regardless of whoever sells it to you. It's not a knockoff. It's their product, and they should warranty it. That's the way I feel. That's the way the old Cold Steel company was. They didn't give a shit where you got it. Excuse my French. They didn't care where you got it from. I think that's just a way to get out of being responsible for stuff. My personal opinion. That's the only negative I got about the new Cold Steel company, though, because I like their products. They're still making really good products. I just don't like the way that they're handling their warranty issues. That's where my beef is with the new Cold Steel company. You can see these videos. It's called the Flawed Talwars. That's when I purchased these. I can't remember exactly when I purchased them. I don't know how long ago it was. But they've been just sitting in the boxes packed away in my safe ever since I bought them. Because I didn't want to tear them apart and try to modify them or make them work or whatever, like I've done before with other Cold Steels in the past. Because once I learned how to return stuff that wasn't right with Cold Steel, the original company, and they would always get me stuff back in a week. I mean, they were like super fast. You didn't have to wait that long. And I loved it. I miss that. That's the thing I miss the most about the old Cold Steel company. Because, you know, these knives are mass produced. And I'm sure that, you know, they probably only check maybe one or two out of a batch of them at the quality control part. And so they might be missing a whole lot of stuff. I think that's how most companies are, that mass produce things. That one's hard to get out too. Okay. Let's swap the pins. Let's see if they're the same size. There's supposed to be a big one, I think. Okay, zero it out. Yep, 6.2. 6.2 millimeters. This is another big one. And this one is 595 or 596. 5.96 millimeters. I'm swapping the pins. Hopefully I'll have the same thing happen that I had with the other ones. Okay, let's see what these are. This one was 3.95 or 96. This one is 3.59. Yep, this is a small one. Let me get it out. Where'd it go to? That one flew. Flashlight time. Where'd that little bugger go? I did not see that one. Did it land on me? Oh, there it is. Thanks to Lucky's flashlight that you got me. I wouldn't have been able to see that without it. All right. All right. I'm feeling kind of excited. Okay, 3.6 now it says. Let me see. Is that right? Yep, 3.59. Okay. So this is a small one. I'll put this one over here. And this one is 3.95, the bigger one. We'll put this one over here. Let's see how this works. Oh, it's not working. Let me see how this one fits. Oh, I see why it's not working. I got the wrong lock bar. Okay, this lock bar belongs over here. Or does it? Nope, it does belong to this one. Notice this too, people? The other lock bars won't work with this one because it hits the back spacer. It only can go with the one that fits, supposed to fit. So let me see if this works over here. That bottom's out. That wouldn't be any good. That bottom's out. Did I put the big one over there or small? I think I went small, big. Let me check. Yeah, that's a small one. So it has to have the bigger one. And I don't want to mess up that knife because that's a knife that I've been carrying for the last 10 or 12 years. I got a lot of history with that knife. All my friends and buddies have seen and handled that one. They always like to see it. 3.94. 3.59. 3.59. Is that the one I had in there before? Let's just swap these pins and see what happens. Excuse me. See if that makes a difference. Doesn't hurt to try, you know, just trial and error. It's not bottoming out. That one looks like it's going to work too. It's getting close to bottoming out though, but I'm going to put this one together first and see if it, my favorite one here, and see if it works okay. Looks good so far. So we swapped the pivot pins on these ones. That's the only thing I swapped was the pivot pins. Back it off. Yeah, unless you have all these different models, though, it's going to be hard to do this kind of mod. So I don't know how many people this is good for. To let you know that cold steel, the problem with these is the pins. It's not the lock bars, it's not the blades, it's not anything else, it's the pins. They put the wrong pins in them. And that's definitely a factory issue that they should be warranting. Nice and centered. Oh yeah, it works. I got a little bit of lock stick now. Just a little bit though. It's not like it's going in fixed blade mode. It's not as smooth as it was before. But you know, it sort of feels like it's one of those type of things. The more you fidget with it, it might wear out. I mean, wear that away. I really don't like sanding and filing or doing anything to the lock bars and stuff, because when you do that, sometimes you permanently make it so the thing digs in. The lock bar digs in too deep. And that's not too deep. What do you guys think? I think that's doable. Okay, I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna leave it like that. Let's see how this one works out. So far, so good. We got four working Talwars here. Let's see if we can get 5. Yeah, I'll show you guys how to get rid of that rattle that develops after a while. It's a real simple fix. Easy, anybody can do it. That anybody will be able to do. Too tight. Nice and centered. Fits nice and flush. Okay. Oh, it's digging down a little bit. That's more than I like, though. It is digging down a little bit. Is it locked up? It's almost locked up. But, you know, it's not total fixed blade mode, though. This one before was going to fixed blade mode if I opened it slow. It's not doing that no more. They're real hard. Well, I'm still not in fixed blade mode, so it's better than it was before. It's not really to my total liking, though. I like it when it's flush. I don't like it when it bites down into the. You know what, though? But I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like that because it's still functional. All right, people. Let me show you how to do this other little fix real quick. Let me see which one's got the rattle. I think all of them didn't they? Yeah, this one's got a rattle too. This one I'm not going to do though because I'll probably be taking this one apart. This one sounds like the blade's too loose. This one doesn't rattle. This one's blade's too loose. No rattle on that one. No rattle on that one. Okay, this one has rattle. Okay, so we'll fix this one. All right, people. And which one? CTS6HP. Okay. This is how you fix the rattle. The blade stop pin and the stop pin are the ones that usually rattle. If you do have a rattle noise in one of your G10 models, I think that's probably the reason why Andrew Demko likes to put what do you call them, partial liners in some of them, because I think that eliminates that a little bit of deformity. Okay. It's this one and this one. And the way that you cure it is with rubber cement. Just put a little bit of rubber cement on them. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Just about this much right there. That's all you need. Let me put it back in the hole. And that'll stop it from rattling. I used to do this with all of my cold steel knives at G10 scales. All right. You just put it back together. Let me put a little lube on this one too. The washers are getting old and tarnished looking. Oops, I should have did this one first. Drop of oil. Teflon washer goes against the blade. Bronze phosphorus washer goes against the blade scale, the handle scales. All right. Now you won't have the rattle no more. All the way down, just finger tight. You never torque down screws on any knife. I don't care what the brand is or whatever. You never torque down the screws like you would on something like where you're trying to get a torque spec or something like that. You don't do that. You just finger tight. And if it comes loose, then get some Loctite, but you don't torque it down. It's the easy way to strip out your screws and mess up your knife. Just like that. That's all you gotta do. Just like that. Don't ever do anything like that on these. Don't ever do that. You'll mess it up. These are little tiny screws. They're not that strong. Okay, nice and centered. Oh, we still got a little bit of rattle. Maybe I should put more glue on it, huh? Or maybe I have to let it dry. Take a look. Another reason why you don't want to torque things down, so you could always take it apart, pull maintenance on it. Keep it nice and clean. Probably should pull maintenance on all my Talwars because they've been sitting in a safe for a long time. The ones I don't use. Okay. Put a little dab on this one too. Those are staying in nice. Okay. I love the Talwar. My favorite folding fighting knife. Folding fighter. Why? Because it's extra long. It looks vicious. It's intimidating. That's what you want in a fighting knife. You want to look intimidating so you can practice the art of fighting without fighting. You scare away your enemies. As soon as they see this, they say, "Oh, hell no." Unless they got a gun, though, you know. Not rattling. No rattle. Oh, yes. Works great. All right. So we were able to swap parts. We're able to swap the parts. Put everything together. A little trick there with the rubber cement. You guys saw that too. So if you guys get a rattle in one of your G10 models, you know how to handle it. All right. All right. They're all good to go. They're all good to go. And the new one I'm going to be carrying is a serrated one. That's the one that's going to go in my big folder drawer, rotation drawer. I'm going to let the Oz 8 one take a nap, take a rest. It's been working hard for the last 10 or 12 years. Been on almost every big motorcycle ride I've ever been on. Took that, my XL holdout. That's the one that, now you can bring out the holdout that goes with this one too. Because I got a S35VN holdout to go with it. You got the serrated one and a plain one. Now I'll carry one serrated knife and one plain edge knife. I'd rather have the serrated one be in my front right pocket. That's my emergency knife. That's how I roll. I like the serrated knives because they will cut through anything. Clothes, leather jackets. Whereas sometimes a plain edge will bounce off of stuff like that and not do any damage to your attacker. Love it. Now they can go back in here. Let me see. All right. This one's going to go in here. CTS 6HP. Which one is this? That's the new one. Put that one in last. Okay. That's the one I want to carry. This one goes in. I still may leave my plain edge one out. My old school one. You know what? I only got one more space, so yeah, the plain edge one will stay out. I'll put this one away. It's functioning good, but I'd rather have it function the way I like it, where it doesn't dig down. All right. That's how I keep them in the safe, people. This old raggedy one is falling apart. This roll. So I got to use some paracord. That's how I roll. All right. Got the OG plain edge. Absolutely love this one. Why do I like these? They're balanced perfectly. They're balanced perfectly. You have 3 different grips. You have a grip up front, you have a middle grip, and you have a real secure rear grip. I think the grips on this is the best fighting grip folder that Cold Steel makes. This and the Voyager series and the Espada series are my 3 favorites for like the way that the grips are, because I like grips that keep my hand locked in and keep me from sliding off. So this is good for chopping strikes. Excellent. It's good for also if you want to extend your reach. These are excellent knives, and the blades they're 4 millimeters thick. You got a swedge right here, so you don't really see the 4 millimeters all the way along the line, all the way. But it's not really a 4 millimeter. It's like, I think it's really like 3.8 millimeter, something like that. But Cold Steel calls it 4 millimeter. But it's an awesome blade. And I've heard people say, you know, like, how come they don't put? Why do I like that? It doesn't have steel liners in it. I don't want steel liners in this. If you put steel liners in this, it wouldn't have this kind of balance. It'd be handle heavy. And for a fighting knife, you want to have perfect balance. Right where your forward finger goes in the forward finger groove, that's where you want it to balance at. You don't want it to be balanced up here. You don't want to be balanced back here. You want to be right here, right here. That's perfect balance. And that's the Talwar. I think it's one of the best folding fighting knives that Cold Steel's ever made. But the problem is, though, with the new ones, is that I don't know if they corrected it, but you guys just saw how to correct it. But I hope Cold Steel sees this video and they realize that they got an issue and they go ahead and do something about it instead of just keep making knives that aren't right. Look at that. That's the new one. Perfect. Perfect balance. Beautiful knife. Oh man, I love that serration. Oh man, I love these knives. Love them. Super fast knives. This would be the knife I'd want if I had to get in a knife fight. I hope I'd never have to get in a knife fight, but if I did get in a knife fight, this would be the one I want, because I can move this knife super fast in my hand. Even though it weighs like, let me see, I forget what it weighs. Because the balance is so good on it, you don't really even feel the weight. It feels super light. .6 ounces. Usually when knives start to feel heavy to me is like when they get over 9 ounces. These are excellent knives, people. And now I got a perfect one like I always wanted. Oh, I am happy. Today is a good day. Today is a good day. Oh, just listen to that sound. You know it's locked up. When you hear that sound like that, that means it's locked. It's locked. It's like a folding fixed blade almost. I know it's not a fixed blade. I'm not saying it's a fixed blade, but it's strong like one. And you don't need steel liners. G10 has a very high tensile strength. It's not like steel, but it's pretty close. It's got very high tensile strength, and it doesn't get messed up and ugly and stuff like aluminum does if you drop it or something like that. It holds its own. And it's not all G10 too. American G10 is the best G10, the kind of G10 that Cold Steel uses and Andrew Demko use. That's good G10, because I've had knives from, like, I'm gonna just say other countries, and the G10 wasn't that great. I even had one from another country, from another fairly famous maker, and it split. It started cracking and splitting, and I sent it back in. They replaced it. Did I say CRKT? And that was not a Clever Girl. It was a Seismic. I was adjusting the pin that you adjust the detent on it, and it made the other side handle crack. So that let me know that their G10 is not that great. But this G10 right here, this is some tough stuff right here. I've never messed up this G10. I've been carrying these things ever since they've been making them. You do not have to worry about not having steel liners with this. For a fighting knife, you want it to be light in your hand. You want it to be fast in your hand. You don't want some big old bulky camp knife type thing. You don't want that, because that makes you slower. If the other person has something like this and you have something big and heavy, who do you think is going to win? Just like in boxing. You know, if you can punch faster than your opponent, you know what I'm saying? You don't want something big and heavy slowing you down. You want something light and nimble, but you do want the reach. And if you do get in some serious combat, you want a blade that's like, I don't know, I was always told between 6 and 9 inches by my pops. And this is a 5.5-inch blade. So, you know, it's pretty close. And the reason why you want a longer blade is so you can have penetration. I know it's going to sound kind of gross, but you have to be able to hit the internal organs and things. You know what I'm saying? A little 3-inch knife just does like pretty much like surface damage, unless you actually, you know, hit an artery or something. But, you know, with a knife like this, wherever you hit, you're going to do some serious damage. And with a serrated blade, this will cut through clothing and get to the flesh. Okay, now I should shut up, because I'm probably going to get banned or restricted on this one. But these are awesome knives, people. And the other ones I think are really awesome are pretty much all the XLs that they got left. You know, from the Counterpoint to the Voyager to the Vaquero. Vaquero blades are awesome too for, you know, fighting knives. They're not really that good for everyday use knives to me, but I think for a fighting knife they're awesome because you got the draw cut. But this one, this is a slasher and a stabber. And then the Vaquero has got the draw cut, and it's got the stabbing ability. The American Tonto blades, like on the Voyagers and the Recon, well, they don't make the Recon XL no more. They should bring back the Recon XL. But the Voyagers, the ones I like, with the Voyager XL with the longer handle, that to me is like the second best grip on that Cold Steel makes. Those are great for snap cuts, and snap cuts are awesome. It's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like get away. You know, because they cut deep too. The snap cuts are pretty vicious. And that's the reason why I like the American Tonto. And not only that, it's got a really strong tip. And it's got, you know, so like if you hit any bones or anything like that, the tip's not going to snap off or get stuck in the bone. Okay, that's kind of gross, huh? It's kind of gross. Let's put a little humor into it. But these are awesome blades. You just got to get them to work right. These new ones, you got to get them to work right. I solved the issue on this one, so now I know what's wrong with these. It's the stop pins. The stop pins are the wrong size. So all I did on this one was change the stop pin. I didn't change the pivot pin or anything else. I just changed the stop pin on this one, and you cured the problem. The stop pin is not supposed to be 5.97 millimeters? It's supposed to be a 6.2 millimeter stop pin. Maybe Cold Steel will just sell some stop pins. That'd be awesome if they start selling some parts. I doubt that the GSM's going to do that, though. This is nice. Oh, S35VN. I love it. I love it. Oh, yeah, it's working perfect. Working perfect, people. It's a stop pin on these. On my old ones, it's a stop pin. The stop pin. This is the original. This, like I said, it's the original batch when they first came out. I bought this in I think it was like a December. I want to say it was like in 2020. And I think GSM totally took over. Was it 2021? Or was it longer? Was it before then? I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at that video and find out exactly when it was. But there you go, people. And like I said, they're selling these for $135 or $138. I think it's for the plain edge. For the serrated edge, that's a more expensive one. I think that's like $145 or something like that on Amazon. One of you guys told me about it. All right, Apex Grind. Well, I didn't have to modify the lock bars. The lock bar wasn't the problem. It was the pivot. It's working perfect now. That's it, people. Peace. Have a great day. Sunday. Have a great day.